Nothing wrong with silver.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cup Connection. I'm Mike Massaro, and we have the pleasure to be joined by two drivers today who have a special announcement to bring to us as well. We thank Ryan Preece and Chase Briscoe for being here, and I will preface it by saying they're ready to, shall I say, shake and bake, gentlemen?
Yeah, I'd say so. Definitely, I think it's a great opportunity, especially it being Talladega, and what a better way than Old Spice and Wonder Bread.
So I saw in one of your press events, maybe it was on Twitter, whatever, that you've recoined that phrase. It's now what, Preece and Chase? Is that right, Chase?
Yeah, I think so. That's what we came up with. So, yes, it is really cool, to actually run these two paint schemes in a legitimate Cup Series race, and then of all places to do it at Talladega. It's been pretty wild to see, honestly, like fans' reaction just in 24 hours of how into it they are. So I was pretty fired up to go in general to Talladega this weekend, and just knowing that it was coming and what we were doing. But to see the fan reaction, so far, I can't wait to get down there and just see how into it everybody is.
I'm into it. It's a fun movie. Let's have some fun with it, shall we? As you all know, I'm sure that the mantra of Ricky Bobby was, what? If you're not first, you're last. So there's two of you guys. Only one of you can be first. So how do you work that out?
Nothing wrong with silver.
He's been waiting to say that somewhere all week. But honestly, the way my super speedway results have gone this year, I've definitely successfully done the last part. So we're gonna try and do the first part.
All right. Well, we'll get to that in just a minute. I still want to stay on the topic of the movie here a little bit. It's a fun movie. It came out 2006. I think a lot of us saw it. I'm older than both of you. You guys were rather young at the time. I think, Ryan, you were probably 15 or 16. Chase, if I'm doing the math right here, you were 11 or 12 back in 2006. This was a PG-13 movie, man. How'd you get in?
Yeah, it's cool to say that. Last night, I went to go watch it last night, and I got busy, but I was thinking, I do not remember going to theaters and watching this movie, and I was trying to think of the first time I actually watched it, because I definitely wasn't 13 at the time when it came out. So, yeah, I don't know when was the first time I actually watched it, but I remember watching it, and ever since then, it's been this, obviously one of the top 3 movies, it kind of go-to movies. It's got so many good one-liners in it. So, yeah, for, I think, all the drivers, it's one of those polarizing movies. You either love it or you absolutely hate it. I'm on the love it side, but I'm a big Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly fan. So the fact that those two guys did a movie about, our sport, I think is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it as a comedy, right? You got to take it with a grain of salt. I get what you're saying, though. I know there's some purists out there like, wow, this isn't right. That's not really Talladega. That's actually Charlotte, just picking everything apart with the movie. But just you got to sit back and enjoy it, right? I mean, it's a great movie. So in your opinion, I know you guys do watch movies. What is the best racing movie?
Days of Thunder.
And honestly, for me, I would pick Talladega Nights. I mean, Days of Thunder is really good, but it's too serious for me. I like comedy, so I'm more of a Talladega Nights guy.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of a Days of Thunder guy. All right, last question on the movies. All right, so you guys are stars in your own right. All right, so let's just imagine, hypothetically, there's a movie being made now involving both of you. Who's the actor who plays you?
Go ahead, you first.
I mean, I'll go with Will Ferrell.
Okay, yeah. Oh, there you go.
Let's get into Talladega Nights. Part.
Can Will Ferrell play multiple characters then? Like in other movies? I don't know who else to pick. Yeah, we're just gonna go with Will. So Will Ferrell's gonna play both of us.
Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall played multiple characters in Coming to America. So why not, right? You could definitely do that. I would think you could. All right, hey, let's get to the racing aspect of it. Obviously Talladega Nights is a comedy. In the movie, there's some spectacular crashes, but in reality, you've experienced those yourself, Ryan. We go to Talladega this weekend. It's the first time you've been there since your spectacular Daytona crash. So I'm just curious. What's it like going to a place like that after what you experienced in Daytona?
Doesn't change, to be honest with you. I think, Chase or any other racer will tell you, when we go through events like that, you don't want to say it's normal. It was just a big wreck to us. To most people that experience maybe one wreck in their lifetime, it's a really big deal. So obviously, I've been testing NASCAR safety with this car, and I prefer not to be the one doing that moving forward. But yeah, no, I like I said, I'm fine, and I'm definitely ready to go to a super speedway and get a good result, because as Chase can say, we've had really fast super speedway cars, and just unfortunately we've had nothing to show for it.
You led me right to it, Chase. You guys had great race cars at Daytona. I mean, you were on the pole in Daytona. So what do you expect in terms of performance going into Talladega this week?
Yeah, I think, a lot of the same. I think we are still going to be really fast. I was telling Ryan earlier, like, there's a real possibility we both are on the front row, and what a story that would be. It'd be pretty cool to have, Ricky Bobby and Cal Naughton's cars on the front row leading the field to green. But yeah, I mean, for sure, we've had really fast cars. We just haven't truthfully been able to execute. So that's something, that's been a big emphasis, going into this week, is just how do we take those fast cars and get the results they deserve? Because, arguably, all four of us have had cars capable of winning at all the super speedway races this year. We just haven't been able to seal the deals. So hopefully, I guess the 6 times the charm in this case going to Talladega this year. I think that'll be our 6th super speedway race this year. And hopefully we've learned what not to do, and hopefully we can kind of put all the pieces together.
All right, so getting back to the movie a little bit here, Ricky Bobby and Cal Naughton Jr., they had a dynamic there. Ricky Bobby would not allow Cal to win a race. He just wouldn't allow it. But
hey, Cal won the last race, though, Talladega.
Yeah.
This is true. So you guys have to work together at Talladega. How do you see that happening?
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much all work together anyway, so it's pretty seamless when it comes to that. And obviously, if there's ever an opportunity for any SHR car to win, and you're pushing them, that's the goal, is to push them to a win. So like we've said, our cars are really fast. Daytona, they're in August. We were 1, 2, 3, 5. We were really making some speed. So moving into this weekend, obviously we've come up with a plan, and just like Chase said, we have to execute.
All right, so a big picture. I mean, there's still 6 races to go. That includes Talladega. But after that, there's the Roval in Charlotte. I know, Chase, you've got a win there in the Xfinity Series, right? So you're coming off a really strong run in Texas. It seems like maybe you're gathering some momentum, and you've got an opportunity coming up ahead of you.
Yeah, for sure. The Roval's a place that I've always felt really confident going to, just for whatever reason. I feel like it fits my driving style out of all the road courses. So, we had a crew chief change probably 2.5, 3 months ago, and it's just not going to happen overnight. So I feel like every week we've slowly been making gains and kind of seeing that light at the end of the tunnel. And, Texas was really the first race where we've been able to somewhat execute on that speed that we had gained over the last 2 or 3 months. So I always got to do a better job of getting the speed, but then doing something with it. So hopefully, at the Roval, we'll have good speed. The last road course race we ran, we were really good. Just got to put all the pieces together, and kind of same thing as this weekend. It takes a perfect race for us to be able to contend and be battling at the win. And, truthfully, when we've had the speed, we haven't put perfect races together. So we just got to do a better job on that end, and it starts with me. So hopefully, after this weekend, going into the Roval, it's a place where it's easy to make a lot of mistakes. So hopefully, I can do my job well, the team can do their job well, and hopefully, we can be competing at the end.
I know after you won the Xfinity race at the Roval, you said it drove a little bit like a dirt track. Why is that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just extremely slick in the infield. That road course, I feel like, takes so many different types of disciplines. It's extremely narrow, for one. It's almost like a street course. You just can't overstep because there's nowhere to go. If you do overstep, you're just crashed out. But in the infield, you have way more power than what you really need, just because it's so slick, and reminded me a lot of dirt races, how much you got to finesse the throttle and really keep the car underneath you. But then when you get on the big track, it's the opposite. It's all very high commitment, heavy braking zones. It just took 2 totally different types of driving styles. And, growing up, dirt sprint car racing, one end of the track can be tacky with a cushion, and the other end can be real slick and slow. And it takes 2 totally different types of disciplines. And, I feel like the Roval just kind of plays into that.
Ryan, I look at the schedule, and just for me, and I could be completely wrong, but I look at the end of October, go back to Martinsville as a golden opportunity for you. How do you look at it?
Martinsville is definitely a place that I've always seemed to run pretty well at, no matter what car it's been in. So I've got a clock for myself already, and it'd be nice to get another one. Obviously, earlier this year we showed a lot of speed, and if not for a speeding penalty, I think we had a shot at it. So definitely eager to get back there, and it'd be nice to end the year on a high note.
A little motivation, knowing what happened in the spring.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would think. Hey, just while we're on the subject of short track racing, I just want to get your thoughts. It has nothing to do with Cup racing, but I know you're paying attention. The NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour is going to North Wilkesboro this week. And I know you can't be there, but you've been there in a Cup car as part of the All-Star Weekend. What should the modified guys expect? What are the modifieds going to be like on that racetrack?
Better put an egg under that throttle pedal, because I actually did the tire testing for that race about 2 months ago, as well as racing there earlier this year. And to be honest with you, I'm biased. I love modifieds, but there is really nothing like a modified at North Wilkesboro. It's kind of like they say nothing like a modified at Martinsville, but you just wear those tires out. And depending on what you do as a driver is going to dictate what your car's doing at lap 40, 50, 60. So good luck to those guys. I know they're going to be swatting flies.
I know you're probably watching it. I know it's being streamed. So I'm sure you'll be paying close attention. All right. So before I let you guys go, Talladega, I mean, obviously you've got some roles to play with the Wonder Bread, the Old Spice. Anything we should be expecting, in terms of fun, maybe listening to your radio during the pre-race or anything like that? Can you tease it a little bit?
I'm sure on the radio, there will be some lines to drop at some point, especially if we find ourselves up front or something. I'm normally good for a stupid line or two, so I'm sure I'll work a couple one-liners in.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys been practicing those lines?
I got most of them memorized, I think, so we'll find out.
Chase surprised me. He's got all the quotes.
All right. Well, we'll be paying attention. I just want to address our audience real quick. The folks that are loyal to us on Cup Connection, thanks once again for joining us. We ask you to hit like, subscribe to our channel, and check out our archives. Guys, we've had a number of drivers join us. Actually, Ryan Preece is our only multiple participant. He's been on a couple times this year, but we've had all kinds of drivers. You might want to check out our archives. Hey, guys, thanks again for being with us. We wish you the best of luck in Talladega. Shake and bake, Preece and Chase, whatever suits you. Good luck.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Appreciate it.